Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And we got another hot one for you this week. But before we get into all of that, you know what time it is. Zoe's got a shout out.
Yo, what up? What's up to all the listeners? Thank you. We appreciate you. Shout out to Brian Bishop. Shout out to Bert. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to DJ. All the way out in North Carolina, man. We appreciate y'all for listening and everybody else who's been listening. If I didn't call your name out, just charge to my mind because I'm getting old, not my heart. Appreciate y'all.
All right, man. So listen, this week we talking about get rid of that junk. Burn it. So strap in. Let the Kings talk about it. All right, good people. Hey, welcome back, man, to another edition of Kingly Conversations. As of course, as I am every single week, you know who it is, man. It's Alan.
It's your boy Twine, a.k.a. Twine. I got energy today. Holla at your boy, man. You know what time it is. Let's go.
It's your friend, your mentor, Calvin D. Hill. Yep. Okay, I guess I made this topic. I'm not sure where I made it, but it's about clearing out some of the junk in your life. And what I mean by junk, some of the old habits or whatever you have, some negative people, stuff like that. And more than likely, I did this after a meeting I had with my team. And every now and again, you just gotta do some self-evaluation, do some self-checking,
and get rid of that junk.
So I encourage y'all.
What's junk? What do you mean by junk? What is that?
So for me, I try to do a lot of self-reflect and figure out what's weighing me down mentally, emotionally, spiritually, stuff like that, so that I can improve on me. I don't try to save the world, and I ain't trying to help myself. So that's where a lot of that comes from. So like reflecting on your values, and the therapist really asked the question, like, what are some of your beliefs about yourself? She asked the question like that, and what are some of the things you say to yourself about you, and that helps. It helped me do some self-reflecting and kind of do some self-assessment. But what are your core values? Like, what are some of your core values? What do you value?
First of all, we're not going to skip past the part where you said you listened to a therapist. I want to talk about that for a second.
All right. Okay.
So, what therapist did you listen to?
I don't even know her name.
I don't know.
No, it's the one I see regularly.
That's the one that you see regularly?
The one I see regularly. And I can say regularly because it's been more than 4.
Regularly. But you
weekly.
Don't know her
You said
name.
Weekly?
I don't know her name. Yeah, I don't know her name.
So are you seeing...
I don't even ask her name.
Is ChatGPT your therapist? I don't...
No, it's a legit therapist.
Are you sure?
Virtual Peace of Mind. Shout out to Virtual Peace of Mind. That's the company. Okay. But I don't know her name.
Well, she don't count then. Sorry.
Why?
She ain't got a name. You gonna talk about it and not give her credit, her credentials, man?
Because I don't know her name. I'll get her name.
You've been going consistently. How long? You said consistently?
4 sessions.
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Oh, she fresh. Okay. We'll see how long she lasts.
Oh my goodness.
Time out. What's that supposed to mean? like I'm gonna run her off. I'm gonna get on her nerves.
No, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm glad that you're doing it though, man. I'm just messing around, but I'm glad you're actually seeing somebody of a professional capacity, man. So shout out to you for doing that.
Appreciate it.
What did you meet this lady at? I'm curious. We'll get
It
back
was
on
a
topic in
reference.
just a second.
It was a reference from the mental health walk. We do our annual mental health walk as one of the psychiatrists we have, and talk to the runners and the participants in the event. And she actually referred me to this person. So,
well, shout out to this person.
yeah, I'll get her name and I'll make sure we shout her out in the next.
Shout out to that
please,
person.
please do. Because if she talking and she taking time to sit with you and have a conversation, then you definitely need to make sure, first of all, that she know her name.
But I don't like to have. I don't like to.
Like, I don't even know who this lady is. I'm sorry to this lady.
Yeah, I don't like to put other people.
Yeah, I was walking and I saw this
like
lady
that.
with an umbrella and it wasn't raining outside. So
anyway,
I just talked to her every week.
back on subject.
All right, so we talking about junk. You said get rid of this junk. What is junk? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so I explained all that, but it started with self-evaluation, establishing boundaries, open communication, seeking support. That's a new one for me, and build a positive network. So getting rid of that junk, first off, you got to do some self-assessment. Find out what serves you, what don't serve you. What helps you, what don't help you. You got a goal in mind, what pushes you towards the goal, what holds you back from the goal. Because a lot of stuff we may be doing to hold ourselves back from meeting our own goal.
Right.
So, I know my question was, give me one, or what is one of your core values?
That was a question the therapist asked.
Yeah, and I want to know yours, one of yours, so you can share with the audience, so that maybe it'll help them reflect on what some of their core values may be.
Alan, what's a core value?
What was an example of a core value? Doesn't happen.
Okay, either core value or something that you
put
say
what
to
the
yourself.
young people say, 10
okay.
toes down on.
Huh?
10 toes down on. Is that what they say in the streets now?
Well, what do you say about yourself? What is something you hold true to you?
Okay. Go ahead, Alan.
I mean, if we're talking about, you said something that you say to yourself. Okay, well, one of the things is certainly going to be just don't be dumb.
Okay, right. So Alan's big on educating himself. That's one of his core values. Like, he believes in education. Yes.
So and mostly because, hey, look, you know, my thing is if you don't know enough about a subject, I find that the vast majority of people, well, I shouldn't say the vast majority, I don't have any empirical data on that, but I find that people will still want to participate on topics they don't know nothing about. Like I said one time before, like people who have no experience at all on tech will try to talk to me and tell me what stuff about it, like either one, A, I probably have seen it already, or B, how you gonna tell me what's supposed to happen when I'm out here? I gotta follow regulations on it every day. So, you know, that's why it's just weird. It's just weird. So after a while, though, I find that when you're around enough, I will call them ignorant conversations. Not that the people are ignorant. I think the word ignorant has gotten a bad rap. Ignorance just simply means you don't know. But I've been around enough conversations with people that just don't know a subject, but they want to talk about a subject anyway and espouse the depths to which they do not know or their know nothingness. And I just didn't want to be that person. Like, I just need, if I'm not having a conversation about it, like it's a bunch of people talking about it, it's probably because I'm like, I don't know enough about the subject matter to really have useful information. So that's probably
what they should do.
What?
You know what they should do if they don't know what they're talking about?
What you gonna say?
Shut the front door. Get out of here.
Yes.
Right.
I figured that's what people would go. They should, but they ain't though. They not. They not gonna do that. If they did that, I wouldn't have to say, just don't be dumb. Just don't be dumb. Whatever you do, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb out here. But I think it's also because being, it's one of my pet peeves anyway. Mostly because I think that the vast majority of people with any level of formal education, if they were seeking additional knowledge, could gain that knowledge in the form of some form of self-education. The problem, I think, sometimes it's a double-edged sword, because like today, anybody can put information out there. But my thing is, okay, well, this is if you are passing something off as a work of fact and not a work of fiction or not a work of opinion, then I got to look at, okay, where'd you get this information from? Because if you're saying something is a fact, I should be able to look that up. And so I still run on the trust but verify, because today I've started sending people AI generated videos that don't look like AI. So showing them like, hey, look, well, what do you think? Well, how are some ways you can tell this is not real? Because right now you can still tell it's not real if you know what you're looking for. The problem is, I don't know if we're gonna be able to say that next year. It's gonna be hard. So that's just don't be dumb is one of mine.
All right, Alan. Kwanzaa,
So.
what's one of your core values? What is one of the things you hold like Alan for Alan?
I got you. I understand. Well, I'm gonna just say what I think. Peace of mind. That's one of my core values.
To have peace of mind.
Yes. So that with me saying that, I say that because there's a lot of people out here with drama, a lot of extraness that I'm not going to tolerate. I don't care who you are and what you do in life. If you come with drama that will affect my peace of mind, if it doesn't affect me, cool. But if you come in approaching me with it and trying to get me involved in something, and it's just, it doesn't make sense to me, it's causing me mental anguish, then we are going to not be in contact very long.
You guys gonna cut them off.
I got a sharp pair of scissors right now on me. If
You're stupid.
I keep them sharp. But so that's one of my key values of peace of mind, and just I don't want to say serenity, because that's not, it's impossible for some people not to have drama, and I understand that. However, when you come to me and want my help, or you want to do something together, but it's just a lot of turmoil that comes along with it, then we might have to find a different way to approach the situation. And because for me, I can deal with stressful situations. That's not a problem. But again, when it comes to other people's stuff, I don't partake in none of that.
So you identify the negative people in your life.
Huh?
So you identify negative people in your life and get rid of them
immediately. Immediately.
Why don't you just have boundaries with them? Just say you don't got to cut them off. You got to get rid of them.
But
I understand the time to get rid of that junk, but do you have? should you get rid of? It might be a family member. It might be a family member. So you saying you would get rid of the family member because they're negative?
And did.
And did.
Yeah.
And did. How do you handle it, Alan? You cut people off too? Y'all just cut them off? You don't just set a boundary, like set a limit, either time or.
I think you're asking the wrong. I think you're asking the wrong person that question, and I only say that because, so for me it's probably easy because my family is not large. You know, my extended family, my in-laws and stuff, they large, but but we don't live where they live. So my family is not large. Like, for an example, in my entire family, there are exactly 3 of us that even live here. So it's not like I'm going to see my family that often. We have to want to see each other in order for us to even be in the same spaces, right? I take that back. I'm sorry, not 3, 2. There's 2 of us left here. Now, both sides of my family were born here, but there's only 2 of us left here. So it's, for me, as far as family is concerned, it's fairly easy. I mean, there's my mother and there's a cousin, and that's pretty much it. That's all that's here. So, we would actually have to make an effort to see each other. So I ain't got to cut nobody off, right? If you start looking at friends, most of the people that exactly 0 people that I hung around with all the time in high school do I hang around with all the time today. But I also grew up as a military brat. So, and for those that have never been a military brat and lived a transient life, you have friend groups and you see them when you see them. You see, like, I know that if I go to NSU football games, I'm going to have a group of friend associates that are there because they're going to be there for the season. So I've never really had to intentionally cut somebody off. The nature of how I grew up kind of does that for me. Because I don't have anybody in my life that I've known since like kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. I have exactly 0 people. Everybody that I know in Virginia, I have met since 10th grade.
So you don't have regularly a large amount of regular association with people outside of work.
Nope.
Outside of work.
Nope. Don't have it anyway. And I never, but I also don't. I haven't necessarily, like, I mean, obviously all the friends that anybody has, they met somewhere, whether that was work, school, wherever. They met them somewhere. Most people ain't, or maybe even the gym. Like I ran into somebody I wouldn't necessarily say they're a friend, but I ran into somebody at the gym, from the gym the other day, and we chop it up and then back on the regular life. I don't have their phone number, they don't have my phone number, so it's not like we getting together. So I don't have some wide net of people that I'm going to see.
I will say that as far as me, the peace of mind is not just the only thing in the core that I have. For example, I also can relate to Alan when it comes to people being ignorant. So I'm just
okay.
And again, but now I know some people, like the way I use ignorant is they don't know. I don't use ignorant from a standpoint of they ignorant. I'm just like, because ignorance is just a state of not knowing something. You're ignorant of a thing. But also on what the question that you asked, so I just don't have to cut people off because it just naturally kind of happens. Because if we're not moving in the same directions, like what?
Honestly,
you would consider that a cutoff? I wouldn't consider that you cutting them off, because it's like I'm doing this. My schedule, my time is tied up with this.
And I'm gonna be honest,
I'm not cutting you off.
Yeah,
because you're just not in line with where I'm going. So it's not a.
And yeah, go ahead, Joe.
No, I'm saying it's not like I'm rude about it. It's not like I'm going to have a conversation with somebody like, yo, this is what it is. I'm cutting you off. No more chicken McNuggets, no McRibs, no nothing.
Right.
Cut off. So it's just, it's because it gets to a point where you know how people grow apart? Like everybody grows in a different, so you grow apart. So that's all it is, really. Yep. You just giving them the space to do what they want to do and just kind of like, all right, cool, go do that. And I'll be over here doing my thing type thing. So it's not really a mean way of doing it. It's not really a vindictive thing either. It's just a matter of, hey, yo, we just grown apart and we it's about that time. Give you your space.
Right. And go ahead, Alan.
I remember I said to somebody one day, because they were like, that I should try harder to like be their friend. And my mindset was like, if I gotta try that hard, maybe we ain't supposed to be friends. Like I shouldn't have to try super hard to remain friends with a person. Friends or we not.
I'll
Well, I
say,
think with friendship, there's a level of work at being friends with people, especially nowadays and for men, because the common interests,
Right.
for most people, the common interests aren't there. So you have to spend time and create moments to create the common interest so you can build a friendship.
Or you don't.
I mean, right? Unless you, I mean,
I
some
will
people
say
cool with
this.
it. I
I'll
mean,
say this, and we can
I
move on to the
value
next point.
friendships.
You say what now?
I say I value friendships. I've come to appreciate them now. Now it's different.
Okay. I'll say this. I'm a great friend. I'm just not a friendly person. So what's let's get into these these notes that we have here, these key points. So make sure we want to touch on these. He says emotional distress. One of the most common signs of trauma is experiencing intense and prolonged emotional distress, which can manifest as anxiety, depression, mood swings, or uncontrollable emotional reactions. I used to be a victim of emotional distress. I ain't gonna lie after reading that. Yeah. Shout out to my therapist. We on the same page? Y'all good?
No, you is
No,
that a
you
problem? You
went.
on a different topic altogether.
Yeah,
We gonna get rid of
yeah.
that
You
junk
went
at the
to.
very
Is
top
that a
up there.
problem?
You in the
Man,
Trauma.
I tell
you in the
you
wrong
what,
episode over there.
to the next one. My bag.
You on the wrong episode over there. Like, man,
He went. He went to trauma. He
previews.
went to trauma.
We got previews over here. So you
Emotional.
know the problem is
Go 2
he took his
minutes, man. I'm
glasses off.
done.
That's what the problem is. He took his glasses off, and all of a sudden he out here
I
like,
don't know
what?
why.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know
what
why
I
I was
was.
Yo,
going
you thought you
on.
wasn't. You thought we wasn't in the notes at all after 20 minutes.
That's why y'all had that long awkward pause. Like,
Yeah.
what is he talking about? Okay, my
Jesus.
bad, fellas. My bad, listeners. I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
Wow.
I mean, you know what? Maybe I need a cup of coffee.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I didn't get no cup of coffee this morning. I ain't got no Joe in me. That's crazy. Back to
That's
what y'all
crazy.
was saying. Yay.
I should have did the emotional damage
I
one.
know. Well, Oh
Oh
man.
God, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. All right, so
Yeah,
open communication, guys. How about it?
that one. How about that
That
one?
that part.
I mean,
That goes back to that friendship and having core values and communicating that. So with people that don't share your values, those people you kind of get rid of.
I mean, but why would unless you? I don't get that part though. I really
All right,
don't.
all right, all right.
Because we
Okay.
talk about people and not having the same, not core values. What did you just say?
he said
Yeah,
core
values.
values though.
No, core
I
values.
said values. Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you don't have the same values, then what's the point of even like what are we doing? Like if we don't
Right.
share nothing, we don't share nothing in common. So what? Unless it's business, like what are we talking about?
Right.
Yes.
That
Okay.
was the point.
Yes. You were going to make the negative point to his point,
Oh,
and then then you reverse course. It seems like.
okay, my
But
bad.
yeah, I
I'm back
mean
on
that
track now.
that would be the truth. I
I'm getting
think the
back on
problem
track.
is we're so used to being forced into spaces where because truth be told, I mean I don't know how it is for everybody else. But I find a lot of people make friends at work because that's where you are the vast majority of the time. And so at work, you are at work the vast majority of your life. I mean, honestly, if we took it as a percentage, I mean, you at work or work adjacent 8 to 10 hours a day for most people if they got a full-time gig. Because some people would add your commute in as well. Your commute to the job counts for a lot of people. So they're kind of forced to be in spaces with people who don't hold the same values anyway.
Thank you.
But they're forced into that by necessity and not necessarily because that's what they want to be. They might not choose any of these people that they are now forced to work with for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I
I wouldn't deal
mean,
with most. I'm gonna be careful how I say that. Some people, I wouldn't deal with them outside of those forced situations. Others, I would love to, just haven't had the opportunity to.
right. I mean, and there's some. I mean, because everywhere I have gone, there's always one or two people that I take with me to the next phase, right? So whether that's, but I always tell people, if you know if we just work friends or friends because do you actually have my phone number? If the answer is no, you know that we work friends. We're not friends. I've made no additional attempt to get your personal contact information. So once that 2 weeks notice is submitted, you got about 2 weeks left.
I give a lot of people opportunity, like I said, to create that friendship, to create this space. As long as you let me know ahead of time, because I'm busy, I'm doing stuff. So I like to make sure.
Calendar?
I'm serious. No, I hate to be like that, but I'm like that because for me, I'm trying to achieve certain things. I'm trying to do certain things.
Right.
So I have to use my time wisely. Right. I don't. If I'm spending time with you, it's because I care about you. I'm trying to build a relationship with you. That's what it's for. So if it's not that, I have things I need to do, especially when I have a family and business and other things I'm trying to do. No. That's to me that's poor time management. That's people that don't value their time. Like, time is short. You got things to do. That's just me. So,
well, as far as prioritizing things, I would say that I do give people the opportunity. Well, I do now.
Yeah,
because
you
there's
say,
some, like in the past it's been different, but I will say, like, work co-workers and things of that nature, I try to be a part of some of the stuff. Like one time I went out to like a lounge or a pub or whatever with some of the co-workers, and I'm just there chilling, watching them do their thing. I'm very observant, so I'm watching, you know what I mean? But I will say that my process of thinking now is, like, what they do is their thing. That's what they do. Like, if they into whatever they into, whether it's multiple women, drugs, whatever they into, that's their thing. They do that. That ain't got nothing to do with
seeking
me.
support, man. Seeking support.
Those folks definitely need to seek support. They need to get rid of that junk and seek some support.
Seeking support.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that.
Seeking support.
Well, look, no. So
and family.
a hit sip or two may not have hurt anybody, as quoted by the great Taylor McCants. But a few hits, a few sips might hurt a few people. So and a few women definitely go hurt somebody. So unless they all in on the game, that's the problem. If they all in on it, hey, man, do what you do. But if they ain't all in on it,
I'm older too, man. These this is a young crowd out here, and they got a lot of energy, and they want to do a lot of stuff. And I don't do it often. I really don't. I've actually only done it once in my lifetime. Well, yeah. As far as going out hanging with, no. It's been a handful of times. I ain't gonna say once. It's been a handful of times.
And I guess that's where it's always. So I guess that's why also I haven't really had to cut people off for the most part, because I always knew what I liked. Well, I shouldn't say always, but I've known what I liked and didn't like for a long time. Like, I think I've been like out to like the club maybe 3 times, because it is just not. It has never been an enjoyable experience. Mostly because I've never really liked crowds of people that I don't know. I've never even prior to being in the Marine Corps, it was not something I really enjoyed, was crowds of people that I didn't know. Now, if somebody I do know invites me to a place and there are other people that they know and they can introduce me to those people, then I'm all good. But just being in spots where I don't know people, don't know what's going on, don't know the energy, I just ain't never been into it. Some people love that stuff. I just ain't never been into it.
Yeah, introvert.
I am that type of person.
By nature.
I'm asking like, who gonna be there?
Who all gonna be there?
Who all gonna be there?
The quintessential black question. Who all gonna be over there?
All right,
man.
I need to know if I'm coming. Who all gonna be over there?
All right, man. So getting rid of junk, get rid of negative people.
Essentially getting rid of stuff that don't serve you, man.
Yeah, but build support. Build support with positive people.
Yes. And
that's one of the biggest ways to get rid of negative
That was one of the things that the late great Jim Rohn also said. You know that you don't even really have to cut people off if you focus your energy with hanging with the people that the positive influences that you'd rather be around, because you just won't have the time for those other influences.
Right.
Or as much
sometimes
time.
I'll take on a challenge. Sometimes I'll take on a challenge, and I go out there and I challenge myself emotionally and test the waters to see how much of the foolishness I can take. And, I understand that I can't take too much of it. And then, I go back in the pocket. So challenge yourself sometimes out there, man, because, you never know. You might learn something new. You might make a new contact that might have some resources or something. So don't cut yourself off completely, but still set your boundaries, people. So with that being said, how y'all gonna build up a team? Like how you gonna build that support? So what kind of support we talking about?
Oh wow, core shared values for me. Shared values. People are heading in the direction I'm headed, or it's something I can learn from them. It's something I can help develop or learn from them. Those are my big things for hanging around people nowadays.
So, but okay.
Well, what you gonna say this though? What you gonna say? Go ahead. No, I see it's right. It's right on the tip of your tongue. It's right on the tip of the tongue. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Because we talked about people and not having shared values.
Right. But
earlier.
Like I said, if it's something that I can see and learn from them.
Okay.
He's willing to overlook all those other things.
No.
So I'm willing to overlook this other stuff if I need something from you.
No, I can see and learn something from somebody that
True.
I see is a positive. It's a plus in their life.
Mm-hmm.
I have to learn. Okay, what is it that makes you do that?
All right, yeah.
Hey,
that might be a positive. I haven't learned yet.
Jeffrey Dahmer's stock tips.
He's stupid. All right, finish it up. We gotta go.
I can't. I'm done.
You sure?
Hey, listeners, I will say thank you for your patience, because I don't know why I feel like I'm off today, but I appreciate you two gentlemen keeping it locked in.
I saw you with the New York Life Cup. Shout out to Ashley.
Hey, shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. I wasn't even trying to plug it, but yeah, shout out to her. That's why I tried to go
yeah, the front. No, you had it out front first.
I understand. They ain't paying. We are not sponsored. This is not a sponsored podcast.
Doing none of that. That's fine.
We got right now. So, we got two sponsors. They don't pay nothing.
Okay, two.
We got two sponsors.
And what are those two sponsors, by the way? I forgot what.
Oh, he's stupid.
Nobody gonna help me? Okay, whatever.
We have Oh Lord Youth Mentoring, or Oh Lord Inc. is a non-contributing sponsor. they contribute time.
Right.
And then we got Shorter Way to Success LLC, DBA Soulfire Clothing out here, man, contributing time as well. No financial contributions. I mean, technically there are financial contributions.
No time.
There are financial contributions. So Shorter Way to Success LLC definitely contributes financial contributions to the podcast.
Send the invoice for time.
I should send
the checks in the mail.
Send myself an invoice. Send myself an invoice.
Oh, it's funny. So, thank you, Calvin, for this topic. I'm a fan of getting rid of junk, whether it's emotional or just random items that's not being used around the house after a long period of time.
Yep.
So, shout out to you for this topic. I appreciate it. Hopefully, through the roller coaster of being focused and not focused, some of the listeners was able to get something from. Appreciate y'all. Y'all got any closing remarks?
No.
Anybody?
All I got, listen, I got so in my life, I got because our trash day is Friday, so I got throwaway Thursdays, and something gonna make the cut every Thursday. Right, something that's in this house is, if it like, have we used it in a year? Is there a plan to use it? I'm just not, because I see so many other people in my neighborhood that's got full garages that they can't use of just junk over the last 40 years that they built up, and I'm just like, we ain't doing that.
I just recently cleaned out my garage, bro, because it was a while. So I definitely got rid of some stuff, got some organization in there, swept, cleaned up a little bit. So yeah, man, declutter y'all garages out here, cuz.
So that's my thing, is if we can do that, we should be doing that for our garages. We should be doing that for our homes. That's why that's why people used to have spring. That's not why, but we
But
used
some
to
of
have
us don't
spring
have
cleaning.
offices in our garage.
I don't have an office in my garage either. It's above it.
I know a few people. You know,
I do too.
must be nice.
So but if we're gonna clean up the places that we are in, we should also clean up the house that we live in, right? Meaning that we should also look at ourselves as a part of that. Get rid of that junk, as a part of that
Get rid
cleanup.
of that junk.
Like, what in my life is not working? What in my life is not giving me the peace of mind, not giving me the values, not giving me maybe even the income that I would like to have, and just do some what we call introspection, right? Some self-reflection on, okay, should I keep this thing in my life, or is it time to let this thing go from my life? And only you can answer that question, right? And
Breakfast bars. Cue the music, sir. Why you talking?
I got to re-cue it because we ran it all the way out.
He played it low.
Yeah, we ran it all the way out. So, but that's all I would say as far as get rid of that junk is just if you're doing spring cleaning or doing any sort of cleanup time in your house, field day as we used to call it in the military, right? If you're doing that, why are you not doing that for yourself as well? You're doing it for the stuff around you, but you got to look at everything around you and determine if it's worth keeping. Only you can determine it though. So that's all I got. We shall
I ain't got nothing.
see you next week.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And we are out. Well, technically in one spot, not the other.